that Instagram gave me that notification. I can't believe it.
Okay, so we're gonna dive into, and you were just telling me how you go about looking at all this and analyzing it and bringing out the teacher in you.
Yeah, so I mean, as a teacher, right, you create this lesson, you have some kind of assessment, you have a target, then you have some kind of assessment at the end to see if your students reached that target. So for me, I use that mentality and really this step-by-step process with Instagram.
Okay, like what is that step-by-step process?
I mean, there's the target, right? So what's my target? Well, it's Tuesday, so I do tips and tricks on Tuesday. Okay. It's something that I do every Tuesday. So the target is I need to get out a tip and a trick to my audience by the end of the day. It holds me accountable. That's why I like doing it. So that's the target, right? And then the lesson, the lesson plan, if you will. How do I get that content to my viewer? Well, as a teacher, you have an attention getter. You have something that grabs in your audience. So this morning I asked my followers, what kind of trick did they want? Something really simple, right? Something just to get people's attention.
What did they say this morning?
It's actually funny. They said half and half. Half wanted a decor tip. The other half wanted a DIY tip. Okay. So when I saw that, right, again, the teacher in me, you got to kind of pivot. You got to figure it out. You got to work with what you got at that moment. And I said, okay, it's 3 o'clock. I got to start working on I like to work on content ahead of time, but on Tuesdays, I like to do it in the moment because I like to go with what the audience is kind of feeling. And so I said, oh, they're half and half. Okay, I'm going to give them both camps, right? I'm going to give them something that they both can use. So today I did a picture hanging hack that instead of, have you ever tried to hang a picture? And someone's like, get out of the way. No, like move to the left, move to the right. And you're just...
It's all crooked?
Yes, it's all crooked. And you're like in the view and then they tell you, no, I don't like it there. Put it here. Yes. So there's this really easy hack. You just use newspaper and you cut the newspaper to the size of the picture. Then you use tape to put that on the wall. And you move that around.
No.
Yes, right?
That's so simple. It's so stupidly simple.
Simple.
It's like, why did I think of that?
Simple. So I just did a reel of that. Today, it took me like half an hour to do it. Might have been a little longer because I'm kind of a perfectionist. But so then that's how I deliver the content is the reel. Right. And then the assessment in a way is like maybe at the end of the night or tomorrow, I'll look at the views, I'll look at the engagement, and then I'll kind of see, did that work? Just like a teacher. How many kids were sleeping during this? Like, how many kids were awake? How many kids actually did what I asked them to do? Very similar.
It's amazing that you've dialed it down to that level from being a teacher. You've taken your professional skills and put that to social media. Awesome.
Teachers they're just, that's so yeah, it's like how many people slept on my story, because Instagram will tell you how many people went to the next story, how many people left your story, and again, I think if you are intimidated by that stuff, don't be, because Instagram has it. It's there for you. They have all the numbers. Really, all you need to know is, what do those numbers mean? And so I was telling you during the break that what I'll do at the end of the night is I'll look at how much engagement I got for the day. Take that total number, divide it by how many followers I have, times it by 100, and I have my percentage of engagement. So it's a way for me to not look at the number of likes, the number of saves, the number of follows, because that can drain you, especially when you don't have a large following. It's like, oh, I lost a follower today. Oh my gosh. But what you're not looking at is, well, I had like 5 people save that post. I had 35 people interact with my story. 35 divided by 200 followers. I'm not good at math, but that's a pretty decent percentage when you look at Instagram, and you can break it down. So the value of that is roughly Instagram's engagement rate is like, I think it's 3% to 5% is a normal engagement rate. Anything above 5.5% to 6%, you got high engagement. That's good. That means...
How are you learning all this?
I'm on Instagram.
You're just doing your homework.
I follow. I'm doing my homework, and that's it. It's the information is out there, and I don't look at it like, oh, I'm trying to manipulate the content. I'm trying to no. I'm doing what a teacher does. I'm getting to know my audience. That's the important part. I'm getting to know my audience. I'm asking my audience what they want. That's the best teacher in the world, right? The teacher who says, we just learned about the Civil War. How do you want to show me what you learned? Do you want to do a video? Do you guys want to make a poster? Do you want to do a group project? If the teacher asks you, you feel valued. Right. You feel validated, right? You feel like my voice is important.
Right, you're bringing choices.
Yeah. So I think I like accounts that do that on Instagram too. Listen to me, right? I want to tell you what I want.
It's like, now I'm going to have to change my whole podcast. This is gold. I like this.
But
everybody, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to this podcast on YouTube. And if you're one of our awesome listeners, to any of the audio platforms on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Can you do us a favor? Can you leave us a quick review or a 5-star rating or whatever you think, and leave us some thoughts on how you think we can improve the show? It's going to help us so much and going to help this channel grow ever more and help so many more people. Mahalo.